Welcome on down to another arcade tutorial fellow dazzlers and new players alike. What is going on, everybody? Hey, Razzle Joestar here, taking out on a trip through time as we take a look at another MAME tutorial. Today, I'm going to show you how to take a look at adding some nice glow and glitz to your vector games. Like, for example, we load up Tempest here, right? And you see it kind of looks alright, but there's a lot more you can do with this to kind of make it pop more and kind of emulate that vector graphics look. Because if you've ever seen how Tempest looks on an actual arcade machine, like not an emulated machine, alright, an actual Tempest hardware, like machine board thingy, it looks really great. One way is going to be very quick. So what you're going to do is, we've got our game Tempest here. You're going to bring up your system settings, or you can push right click, and you're going to go down to video options. Double click on that. And you're going to come down to something called HLSL. Turn that on. Return to previous menu. Save your settings. Click out of there. And you should have a bit of a change here. Ah, look at that. It's a little bit more of a glow to it. And you can use this very easily on any of your games with vector graphics. It'll add a bit of a more of a pop to it. So, for example, let's go down to Battle Zone. Right, so this is Battle Zone being loaded. It should not have that HSL on, whatever it is. So, see, it kind of looks like this. Right, not too bad. And then if we back out and we do our thing here, so right click, video options, HLSL, always save your system settings, back out. Oh, there's a battlezone.ini there. I'll get to that in a second. That'll be when we get to method 2. Open this up, and now it kind of has a bit more of a glow to it, a little bit more blurrier than Tempest is, but it gets the ball rolling. Now for method 2. Here we go. This is the one that was struggling with. So we're going to go ahead and close out of this. This is a fresh install of MAME I made specifically for this tutorial, or extract in this case. Version 0.274 for those who want to keep track of that. So I'm going to go close that out, and we're going to go back to my main install folder for MAME, and we're going to go into the ini folder. So here's what you're going to do. I already have these full files made here. You see Star Wars, Tempest. There should be another one for B-Zone. So I'm going to pick on you, Tempest. We're going to delete this. And then what you're going to do is right-click, go down to New, Text Document, hold down Control-A to highlight all the text, and then type in Tempest.ini. So yes. Now, for those of you who know where I'm going with this, there is a presets folder that has things for vector. I was screwing around with this earlier. Don't mind that. Don't do this. Don't put the zeros. I was trying to figure stuff out, but this presets will kind of load graphics and other things like that for your games. I found that just going into your ini folder and setting one up for each of your games just works a whole heck of a lot better. So we've got our Tempest.ini. If you open it up, it's blank. So I have a handy-dandy paste bin here that I've set up. It's a bit of an amalgamation of a couple different videos and sources that I was using to try to figure this all out. So what you're going to do is copy that whole thing. Like highlight it, Control-C, whatever, or hit copy. Then we have our Tempest.ini opened up here. So Control-V, paste everything in here. Control-S, save it. Close it, just to be sure. So it saves. Then what we're going to do is, we got our Tempest.ini, double check that's been saved, yes. Let's go back into MAME. So, you might notice that I have all these little guys snug in this folder. I do have a bunch of inis littered around the main MAME install. I did that, I got them to stay in here by doing this. I went into General Settings, Configure Folders, inis. You have ini and you have ini/presets. For whatever reason, the inis that I have here for my individual games were overriding whatever I had in the preset, so I just gave up on using that. But you also had a folder called, which is dot, meaning that it's going to use the same install path, whatever that MAME is in. So if you need to ever delete a folder, you go Remove Folder, and then you double click on the one you want to remove. So let's say I want to get rid of presets, and it's gone. If I want to add a folder, simple. Add folder. And then we scroll down here to ini, and then we go to presets, and then we push tab, and there we go. And then, of course, if you make any changes, always save your settings. I didn't really change anything ultimately, so I don't need to save my settings. But MAME's going to refresh anyways, because that's how it do. And so we have that all done, right? We've got it looking only in this folder. That also prevents your main MAME thing from getting crowded with a bunch of INIs like we have here. I'm going to eventually get these all moved into that INI folder, so they're not all out here. I don't know why MAME does that, but it's annoying, and I like keeping things nice, clean, and concise as much as I can. Don't ask me about the desktop, but anyways, we made those changes. Whoop. Hello, OBS. We made those changes, so let's load up Tempest, and let's see what it's like with that INI that I copy-pasted. So it's a little bit more glowy, right? A little bit more bright, a little bit more bloomy. It looks very similar to what would happen if you just turn the HSL on for MAME with for this install. Whatever reason, it looks a little bit more like this than with that fresh install. I don't know why. I just go with it. Let's say you want to make some changes on the fly, though. Let's do this. Pull up your Tempest INI file. Now, what you're going to do is push the tilde key. It's above tab and to the left of 1 and underneath the escape key. This pops up. You can use your up and down on your keyboard to scroll through the options available. So we got speaker mono. We can change the panning, the screen brightness, screen contrast, all that stuff, screen gamma, all that good stuff. So what about vector? Let's say, for example, vector flicker. Maybe you want more flicker for whatever reason. So you could use your left and right arrow keys to make it flick out. Right, let's wait for it to pop in. See, it's a little bit more jittery. We can turn the flicker all the way off, or we can get it back to the 1.5. You can do beam width minimum, so you can make the beams a little bit more thicker if you want to, make them a little bit more thinner if you want. Kind of tool it the way that you want to. And I would really... Oh, 350 is how highest you can go. Now, I would really encourage you to use this method if you really want to get into the nuts and bolts of each game. Because you can kind of see from when we, for example, just looking at the HSL on mode for Tempest and then for Battlezone. Battlezone was a lot more bright, gloomy, and bloomy, and Tempest wasn't really so much. And here we can kind of configure this stuff to get just the way we want it, right? And if we make that beam width down, we notice there's a bit more flicker, so we can kind of thin that flickering out. Maybe add a little bit, but not so much that's annoying. If you use your slider controls, they normally do not save when you close out of MAME. So why do we have this open? Because what you can do now is take what's in here and copy it onto here. So if you go into here, your Tempest.ini, kind of scroll down, we can find... there's all sorts of things you can change in here, by the way, too, like auto frame skip, throttling. You can set it to skip the the game information screen if you want to. So here we go, core vector options. So let's say you want that flicker lower, right? You're playing around with the settings. Where is it? You're playing with the settings and you're like, I like vector flicker at 0.008. So go 0.08 and then you would control S save. I'm going to actually control Z and undo that. I like that it'd be at 0.25. But you would do that. When you make changes in the INI file, it's not going to automatically update. You have to close the game and reopen it. But at least that way you have a way of kind of making note of what you've done and saving it. So there you go. That's a little bit of a tutorial there to get you started on that. For right now, I'm using that same INI file across different games. Like, let me pull up Star Wars here. Right. Normally Star Wars looks a little bit more flat, not as bright with the colors, but if we open up the game now with that copy-pasted INI file, whoa, look at that. Looks a little bit better. We got the glow to the text. It's a little bit more bright and vibrant. And then let's go down to Battlezone. This all started because I wanted to add glow to Battlezone, because I'm going to be doing a Battlezone video here shortly. See, it's got a little bit of a glow to it. A little bit more with that flicker. So again, you can go in there, you can change that, make that a little bit more not as with the with the screen, and tool things around to the way that you like. That's why I kind of like the idea of having these separate INI files, because yes, I got to go in and change all these, but if I take that, that's me using. This is what it'd be like if I forced global settings. There'd be all these weird flickers, and I'd have to make an INI file anyways, and go in there and edit and do all that fun stuff. So this way, at least, I can configure things how I want to for every single game, kind of like in MAME, where you can set up controls for each individual game. It's like this with a few extra steps. So anyways, if you guys have any other things you want to add, or yelling at me because I did things the long way, let me know in the comments. Or if you have your own way of setting up games globally or individually with the vector look, please let me know. Also, this should work for any vector thing. So this game uses black and white vector. The actual cabinet would have a black and white vector drawn, and then there were overlays to add to different colors. So whether it's your games like Asteroids and it's black and white, or it's color like Tempest, that same INI should work. And yeah, if there's any configurations you have that you want to share, let me know. And let's see if we can, because some people were saying that it isn't quite how it looks, so if we can kind of come together and figure out how to give it that authentic arcade look. That's close as you can get with emulators anyways. Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you very much so much. Let me try that again. Thank you so much. This, again, took me a while to figure out to get to this point. I'll be dorking out of things, and come the Battle Zone video, we'll have those guys jittering on a lot less. Thank you so much for watching and enduring my jabbering. And remember to rate the video and like the video. Leave a comment, of course, if you have anything you want to share. And if you want to help support the channel, we've got things like our Etsy sites with some merch stuff. And we also have our Patreon and whatnot. But that is it. Again, thank you so much for watching. And remember, no matter what anyone says, you are a beautiful star. Take care.